Welcome! This is 80 Unplugged, a podcast dedicated to the love of songwriting and songwriters. Our goal is to feature artists from all different parts of the musical journey and talk about their creative process. I'm AD, a songwriter and music enthusiast, and with me today is a fellow music enthusiast and my husband, JJ.
Hello, hello.
How are you today?
Not too bad.
Not too bad?
A little tired.
Little tired?
We've been going for a while.
Yeah, we've been filming quite a while.
But we're new at this.
But yeah. Today on this episode, I'm going to be playing a song and then we're going to be talking about it. Let's jump in.
You're really so bad, you don't feel like trying. Have you gotten so sad, spend all your time crying? Honey, you're not too old, you ought to listen to what they told you. Honey, you're not alone, so let your family hold you. So be patient, child, be kind. 'Cause good things come in due time. Be patient, child, be kind. 'Cause good things come to good people all in due time. 'Cause good things come to good people all in due time. I know you're young and it's hard, 'cause it's just a start. You don't know who you are, and you don't know your part. You don't know why you try when your good motives die. There's a world to find, so don't turn a blind eye. Honey, you're not too old, you gotta listen to what they told you. Honey, you're not too old to let your family hold you. So be patient, child, be kind. 'Cause good things come in due time. Be patient, child, be kind. 'Cause good things come to the patient ones. All in due time, all in due time. Honey, you're not too old, yeah, you're not alone. So let your family in, let your family in. Honey, you're not too old, yeah, you're not alone. So let your family in, 'cause they know how you've been, and they know how you live. Let your family in, and be patient, child, be kind. 'Cause good things come in due time. Be patient, child, be kind. 'Cause good things come to good people all in due time. 'Cause good things come to good people all in due time.
All right. I hope you enjoyed that one as much as I did. That was very beautiful, AD.
You?
So What was the name of that one?
That song was called All in Due Time.
And what inspired that song?
That particular song was inspired by watching like one of my siblings go through a tough time from afar. When I went to college, I moved. Lots of people move when they, go to college. And I moved away from all of my younger siblings. And during that time, one of my siblings, one of my younger sisters, was about 11 or 12. And she was, going through the throes of being a preteen. Like, yeah. In that age, and like at that time, your whole world's changing. You're changing every single day, and it's really easy to get caught up and feel like it's like very overwhelming. And she was definitely going through a rough time. And this song is just saying, like, things will get better. Just be patient and, keep hope, kind of in a way.
So preteen of what age? About
11 or 12.
11 or 12?
Yeah.
Okay. And you said you were going through, you've gone through similar situations that they would, right? Which kind of, I would assume would help inspire a song like that. You're able to relate to it. So, and you've put it very eloquently. It sounds like you've gone through similar situations yourself. So,
well, I feel like a lot of people, when they are, going through that age, feel a similar way. Like everything is very like vivid. When you like, as you get older, things don't throw you for loops as much. But when you're that age, like you're still figuring out what everything means. And sometimes it feels like you can only make mistakes. You can only make mistakes. You don't know what's right, or you don't know how to do stuff right. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
I just think it's a common thing that people go through, having a tough time around that age,
Absolutely. I didn't really have it too hard when I was that age. I can understand it, but it happened for me a little bit later, a little bit down the lines. At 11 and 12, I was pretty lazy. I didn't really do anything.
Yeah.
I wasn't one of those preteens, but I can definitely understand, especially at a turning points in your life. When you're a preteen, that's when things start to change, because now you're starting to become or move through your adolescence. You're starting to become a young adult. And it's that period of when you're a teenager, going from preteen into a teenager, you change so much.
Yeah.
There's so little time where you go through some of the biggest changes, some of the most changes between, like, let's say the age of 10 and 18. It's less than a decade. But think about the difference between a 10-year-old and an 18-year-old. It's super different.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I can definitely understand that. There's a lot of things that happen in that small amount of time.
Yeah, it's pretty common to go through tough times at different parts of your life. And in this song, I'm saying to my sister that it's not the end. It's not the end. It's a stage in life, and that she should be patient, and also that her family is always here to help.
Yeah, so let's take a look at the lyrics, because it's very deep lyrics, but you can understand the surface level. You can also understand the deeper layers to it. So let's break down the lyrics a little bit. We'll go through the first series here. Is it really so bad that you don't feel like trying? Have you gotten so sad you spend all your time crying?
So I'm obviously exaggerating, because no one
Right.
spends all their time crying. But this is like talking to the hopeless feeling of like feeling like you never do anything right, so what's the use in trying to be right? Like it's so bad you don't feel like trying. And also from like a sympathetic standard, or maybe from experience, I felt like I cried so much when I was a kid. Like I wasn't a particularly sad person or whatnot. Like, I'm not a particularly sad person, but just going through all the different emotions of life, like you feel like you cry all the time.
Mm-hmm.
At least girls do.
Well, I can't necessarily say that I was outside of that group, but I'm just fine. Now, going through the next series, you say, honey, you're not alone. You ought to listen to what they told you. Honey, you're not too old to let your family hold you.
With the first line, is it so bad you don't feel like trying? You know, so sad you're crying. This is kind of like a encouragement. You're not too old to let your family help you. You're not alone. Here's some advice. You know, or listen to the advice, because usually, you know, you offer kids advice and they don't take it. So
in through one ear and out the other.
Yes, listen to what they told you, because they've been through it before, and let your family help you.
Absolutely. And one thing that I took from this is, you know, with music you can listen to, especially once it's recorded, you can listen to music over and over, right? So this isn't something that's a one and done. Often you have to hear that several times to know that you're not alone. Another way to hear this is to think about you're never alone and you never will be alone, right? So if somebody were to listen to this time and time again, they can always remember that they're not alone. They can always remember that they never will be. And that's how I took that. So then we go into the chorus. You say, be patient, child, be kind, because good things come in due time. Be patient, child, be kind, because good things come to good people, all in due time.
This is saying the point we've kind of been talking about, that things get better, things get different, and so have patience, and also be a good person.
Yep.
It is kind of like, in a way, saying be a good person, and you are a good person. So be patient, because good things will come to you if you're a good person.
It like sets it up, right? So be patient, child, be kind, and tells them that they need a couple of characteristics in order for things to come back to them. What goes around comes around. So what you put out into the world will come back to you, because good things come in due time. But then it sounds to me like it refers back to you specifically, like who you're speaking to specifically, because good things come to good people, all in due time. It also has a sense of making you feel good. You know, it makes you feel good to use that type of language in the lyrics. You know, be patient, be kind. These are all positive terminology. These are all positive emotions that you bring forward. You know, even though it's sort of a lower energy, minor key type of song, it's all positive. It's more of a relaxing and positive message.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of like a mantra in a way. Good things come to good people. Like, to not let your feeling of like hopelessness, or your feeling of, or the mistakes you've made, make you feel like there's no use in trying to be a good person.
So in verse 2, we have, I know you're young and it's hard, because it's just the start. You don't know who you are, and you don't know your part. You don't know why you try when your good motives die. But there's a world to find, so don't turn a blind eye.
So yeah, again, saying you're young and it's a difficult time. And even though you don't know like who you are, or your place, or maybe your purpose, or anything like that, don't become jaded. Like, don't turn your back on things, because there is a whole world and a whole life to live.
I've experienced a very similar thing, but way further along in the lines of my young adult life. When I went to college, one of my mantras was blank slate, because I felt that's when I was actually starting my life. Like, I kind of left a lot of my life in the background that I've already lived. And when I came into college, there were so many new people. There was so much of my life that was left back home that I took the next step in the next stages of my life thinking, okay, let me move forward from here with a positive mindset. But essentially a blank slate where I could be anything from here. The mistakes that I've made don't have to weigh me down. The person I was doesn't mean that I can't become somebody new. There's just things like that you need to learn, and sometimes it doesn't happen young. Sometimes it happens when you go to college, sometimes even after that, when you get your first job or when you start your first business or whatever happens next. There's pages that you turn in your life that could be when you learn them.
Although, I did write this song inspired by a situation in my life, I do try to write songs that are a more generic feeling because right there, you sympathized with something that I sympathized with, oh, I remember going through something like that, and you remember going through something like that. It's important to not get not bad things, but it's important to not let bad times define you. And also to realize the grandness of life, because it's the longest thing you'll ever do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, I've always found that it wasn't the bad times that defined you. It's what you do about it. You can let the bad times motivate you or drive you, push you. And that's what will define you. The choices you make in spite of them, or the choices you make thereafter. So, and that's why that last line really resonated with me. But there's a world to find, so don't turn a blind eye. That's what that meant to me. And what they say about good music is timeless, in the sense that when I listen to this song or when I hear you play it, it relates to me in a different time period than who you wrote this for and when they wrote it, when you wrote it. So, there's something to say there. The advice, even though general, there's a point to it, and there's a reason for that. And that's what makes this song so good.
Well, I appreciate that.
Of course. I appreciate good music in the world.
I'm a little stiff. I'm not as good at public speaking as Jared is. That's why I write songs, because I'm not good at on-the-spot thinking. But, man, you are very, very good at saying what you are thinking.
Well, you definitely give me something to talk about.
I did give you something to talk about, yeah. Well, I appreciate you being on this now for the second time. And, thanks for being on the podcast.
Of course. Happy to be here.
And thank you for tuning in. If you've enjoyed this episode, please follow us. You can find us on YouTube and Instagram. For more information about our guest, our goals, or to be a guest on this podcast, visit 80unplugged.com.